Hi everyone, I'm here sharing with you the mistake I have made and lessons I have learned from my past experience. I wonder, have you ever experienced something that seems natural, normal, and you just keep doing it, the same thing over and over again, like everybody else, somehow has become a habit or even common practice, but it works and the result was fine. But the danger is that some mistakes might not be so visible, but everything is connected and has to chain reaction over time. Well, I have worked on many landscape lighting projects, highlighting trees and plants to create nice effect and making places more accessible and pleasant experience at night. So normally, I would use in-ground uplighters to uplight the trees, so the trees' canopies can be nicely lit. Sometimes I would apply different color white to respond to different seasons. I would place lighting columns in between trees or bollards, or even close to trees, so that the lighting columns can be discrete. And also making sure that they can serve both functional lighting as well as catching onto the foliage. So, like many of you, professionally, I reference good lighting design guidelines and practice, lighting only what is necessary and carefully chosen optics, using anti-glare louvers, mindful about the lighting pollutions, even putting lighting control in place. So what and how could this have gone wrong? What have I missed out? So a few years back, I took a part-time course on plant growth and development. And the very interesting part of it is the close connections between light and plants, which then got me into reading more books and researching on these subjects. Afterward, I worked on an Arup research paper, and the topic is called Green Light. It is about design considerations between light and green infrastructure. So during the research process, I had time reading other research reports and papers and written by plant specialists and others. They have reviewed many insightful findings. Many of them were unknown to me and were new knowledge to me, and I was very excited and enlightened. For example, some plants and trees, they are particularly sensitive to light, like silver birch and London plane trees. If these trees were constantly exposed to artificial light, there could be interference with their photoperiod responses, affecting the perception of day length, also interrupting their dormancy. And that's why you could find that some trees have obvious delay of the leaf fall in autumn time when street lights are positioned very close to them. And you know that light disturbance in dormancy can make the whole plant more exposed to frost damage. I also learned that many insects and pollinators are supported by different tree species, and they rely on the health of the plant. So it is important not to put these trees under stress, and certainly you don't want the light to be the stress factor. So after knowing this, then I had my reflecting on my design for the past project. I certainly did not consider the potential light pollutions on plants and insects. I must have interrupted the healthy growth of the plant by lighting them due to my lack of knowledge. Now thinking back, if I was more curious and had been made aware of that knowledge and the consequential effects, then I would have approached the design differently and more sensitively to the ecological needs and even more holistic approach. Now when I approach a landscape lighting project, I would first check the landscape architect about the types of plant and tree species they put in the scheme, then question myself and find out whether any of them are high sensitive to light or not, and are the types of insects rely on trees high or not? If yes, then I would avoid illuminating them. It is important not just to focus the lighting on creating experience for human and compromising the biodiversity and urban ecology. To me, it is important to achieve a harmony of man and nature. So, a lesson and a reminder for myself: grow my knowledge, and some mistakes can be avoided, and keep learning.